SNDP Yogam College, located at Koilandi, invites you to be a part of Guruvachan, a multidisciplinary international webinar series organized by IQAC in association with Kerala State Higher Education Council from 4th to 31st October 2021. Professor Dr. M.K. Jairaj, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Calicut University, will inaugurate the program at 10:30 a.m. on 4th October. Sri Santosh Aryakhandi, Devasam Secretary, SNDP Yogam, Dr. K.P. Vinod Kumar, Associate Professor and Member of Syndicate at University of Calicut, and Dr. Shafiq V, Research Officer, Kerala State Higher Education Council, will felicitate the program. This program is expected to unfold contemporary realms of academic pursuits with 12 technical sessions by eminent national and international scholars from diverse academic domains. Different spheres of academic developments will be weighed and considered by Mr. Niyaz Ahmed Mahmood, Dr. Mahmood Korea, Mr. Anthony John, Dr. O.K. Santosh, Dr. Ramand Kasturi, Dr. S. Chitra, Dr. Tindula Kotakhat, Dr. Ramakant Roy, Dr. K.V.S. Nambudiri, Dr. V. Selvan, Dr. Nibu R. Krishna, and Dr. Uma Shankar Pandey. The valedictory session will be on 31st October at 4 p.m. The chief guest of this session will be Dr. Rajan Varghese, Member Secretary, Kerala State Higher Education Council and former Pro Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University.
എടുത്ത് മാറ്റാം മിസ്സേ മാറ്റാം കേട്ടോ. മിസ്സേ മിസ്സേ അവരെ പേരെന്തായാലും മിസ്സേ? ഒക്കെ അങ്ങനെ മാറ്റട്ടോ. കിട്ടോ അങ്ങനെ മാറ്റാം. Hello.
Jaiju, am I audible, Jaiju? Hello, Jaiju. Hello.
Audible, sir. Audible. Yes, you are audible.
Very.
One second, sir. Sir, I will check you. I will system. Yes, sir. Audible. Yes, sir. Audible.
Okay. Hello, Jeju. You want to open my video? Jeju.
Teacher, audible.
Sir, you're audible.
Audible, I want to let me my video open.
Sir, have you shared the video with the judge, sir?
Vidya.
Yes, sir. Yes.
My video doesn't open. You want to make it open. Tell Jaiju.
Okay. So just the video open. Video. Suggest the video open. Suggest the video open. Suggest you have to open the video.
Jaiju, let me to say one thing. There is a message here. You cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. So why can I enter?
Okay, sir. Host stop ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് പറ്റുന്നില്ലെന്നാ പറയുന്നത് ജയജു സർ.
Yeah.
ജയജു സർ, ഹോസ്റ്റ് അലൗ ചെയ്യാത്തതുകൊണ്ട് സാറിന് പറ്റുന്നില്ലെന്നാ പറയുന്നത്. അതുപോലെ നമുക്കൊന്നും ചെയ്യാനാവില്ല. എല്ലാറ്റിലും മൈക്ക് കൊടുക്കുന്ന അതുകൊണ്ട് മിണ്ടാതെ ഇരിക്കേണ്ടില്ല.
Yes, sir, now we can see you.
Sujay sir, your video is on.
There, Sujay, we can see Sujay sir now.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I'm so dark. Okay. Vidya. Hello, Jaiju.
Hello, sir.
Is it okay now? My video and audio?
Yes, sir. It's perfect.
Yes. Okay, nice. Shai sir, good morning. What about Salam sir? Salam sir, are you here? Hello Vidya.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about Salam sir?
Salam sir has joined.
Joined. Now we have 96 participants.
Yes, sir.
ഇപ്പൊ റെഡിയല്ലോ
പോയത് ടീച്ചറെ എന്നെ കാണില്ല.
അഭിനവ് സാറേ, ഞാനൊരു ലിങ്ക് അയച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്, അതിൽ കയറിയാൽ മതിയേ. ലിങ്ക് 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 ലിങ്കിൽ ടച്ച് ചെയ്താൽ മതി. ലിങ്ക് ടച്ച് ചെയ്താൽ മതി സാറേ. അത് ചെയ്യും സാറേ. അത് ഇവിടുന്ന് മ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്താ അത് ഞാൻ ചെയ്യാം. അത് ഞാനിപ്പോ ചെയ്യിപ്പിക്കാം. ഓക്കെ ശരി.
So yes, sir, ഇപ്പോൾ audible ആണോ?
Vinod sir, good morning, good morning. Now it is okay, sir.
Okay, okay, all right.
Is it okay now? Yes, okay, thank you all. Jay sir,
Yes, sir.
now everything is okay.
Okay, sir.
Salam sir. With the teacher, Jay sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Hello.
Santosh sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Santosh sir, good morning.
Greetings to everyone who is present here on this magnificently glorious day. Let me briefly introduce today's event. R. Shankar Memorial, SNDP Yogam College, affiliate.
Hello. Vidya,
Yes, sir.
your microphone doesn't work properly. So you have to repeat it.
Start one second.
Okay, sir. We'll begin afresh.
Okay.
Greetings to everyone who is present here on this magnificently glorious day. Let me briefly introduce today's event. R. Shankar Memorial, SNDP Yogam College, affiliated to the University of Calicut and accredited by NAC with B+ grade, is here with an academic venture, Guruvachan, a multidisciplinary international webinar series organized under the auspices of Internal Quality Assurance Cell in association with Kerala State Higher Education Council. Let us begin today's remarkable event with a silent prayer. Thank you all. In the history of human civilization, education has played a magnificent role in designing and reforming the destiny of human progress at the global level. The contemporary academic ventures open up creative, illustrative, and revolutionary realms of knowledge that are capable of strengthening the foundation of education, thus expanding its horizons for the enhancement of human existence. Our country, India, too has contributed much to the ever-broadening spheres of academic pursuits. God's own country, Kerala, has also bestowed abundantly in providing education to all, irrespective of class, caste, or gender. And in this initiative, it was primarily guided by significant reformers like Sri Narayana Guru. Established in the year 1995, under the auspices of SNDP Yogam, our institution is named after R. Shankar, the former Chief Minister of Kerala and the founder secretary of SN Trust. The nomenclature also highlights the name of the great visionary and social reformer of Kerala, Sri Narayana Guru, who is also the patron sage of SN institutions. Our college operates under the able and inspiring leadership of Sri Vellapalli Nadeshan, who leads the institution in tune with the doctrines of Sri Narayana Guru. The college is affiliated to University of Calicut and is accredited by National Assessment and Accreditation Council with B+ grade. On this day, 4th October 2021, our college makes history by conducting the program Guruvachan, a multidisciplinary international webinar series organized by IQAC in association with Kerala State Higher Education Council. I am extremely privileged to move on to the formal inaugural ceremony. We shall begin with the welcome address by Dr. Shaji Marambejan. He is the IQAC coordinator as well as the associate professor and head of the PG Department of Commerce. As the IQAC coordinator, he has done commendable work for the upliftment of the institution. Sir, I request you to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Vidya. A very good morning to one and all. Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Calicut, Dr. M.K. Jairaj, respected Principal of our college, Dr. C.P. Sujesh, Devasam Secretary of SNDP Yogam, Sri Santosh Aryakandi, Member of Syndicate, University of Calicut, Dr. K.P. Vinod Kumar, Research Officer, Kerala State Higher Education Council, Dr. Shafiq V, Coordinator of the International Webinar Series, Sri A.M. Abdul Salam, my colleagues, teachers, and dear participants, I feel very honored to welcome you all to the inaugural function of Multidisciplinary International Webinar Series, Guruvachan. Ashankar Memorial SNDP Yogam College, accredited by NAB with a B++ grade, is one of the leading higher education institutions under the University of Calicut, South India. The college focuses to provide value-based quality education to all students, irrespective of their class, caste, and creed. To enhance this further and to create a better understanding of the various levels of academic developments, especially in the current situation of COVID-19 pandemic, the college has organized many programs on various online platforms. The Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC, of the college is primarily involved in designing and implementing various programs for the overall betterment of academic community. Now we have assembled on this online platform to inaugurate another remarkable initiative of IQAC. It is the program Guruvachan, an international multidisciplinary webinar series in academic collaboration with Kerala State Higher Education Council. It is a 1 month long program with 12 technical sessions by eminent national and international scholars. This is the first session of the webinar series, and the validity will be on 31st October 2021. This webinar series is expected to open up new vistas of knowledge and understanding with the presentation and participation of national and international academic scholars from different universities and institutions. The webinar series intends to pay attention to the presentation and discussion of multidisciplinary areas to accelerate the interest of the participants in the contemporary realm of learnings. Let me now move on to discharge my duty, that is to welcome the distinguished personalities who are here. We are really honored to have Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University of Calicut, Dr. M.K. Jairaj, with us to inaugurate the International Multidisciplinary Webinar Series. We are grateful to Dr. M.K. Jairaj for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest of today's event. Dr. Jairaj is an eminent academician and formerly he was the professor of physics at Cochin University of Science and Technology. From 1991 to 2001, he worked at Oregon State University, where he was involved in the development of P-type transparent conducting oxides. He has also worked as a visiting professor at Tokyo Institute of Technology, Japan. With great pleasure, I extend a warm welcome to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. M.K. Jairaj, to this inaugural function. Then I would like to extend a friendly welcome to our Principal, Dr. Sujesh CP, who is to provide this inaugural function of the International Webinar Series. Dr. Sujesh was the inspiration for this webinar series, and Dr. Sujesh is a research guide in University of Calicut, and presently he is the member of Academic Council, University of Calicut. Once again, I welcome him to this function. We are really grateful to Sri Santosh Ariyakandi, the Devasam Secretary of SNDP Yogam, and the representative of management of the college for his wholehearted support to all our endeavors. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a hearty welcome to him to this function. Dr. K.P. Vinod Kumar is the member of Syndicate, University of Calicut, and he is a prominent academician and associate professor and head a research department of commerce, MES Mumbai College. I extend a warm welcome to him to this function. This international webinar series has been organized in association with the Kerala State Higher Education Council, which is providing academic input to the government and to the universities, research institutions, and other centers of higher education in the state of Kerala for the formulation and implementation of the policies on higher education. Dr. Shafiq V, Research Officer of Kerala State Higher Education Council, is with us to felicitate this function. I extend a pleasant welcome to Dr. Shafiq to this function. The organization of an international webinar series like this requires the collective efforts of faculty members, principal, and other officials of the college. So an effective coordination of this collective effort is inevitable for the successful completion of it. The coordinator of this webinar series, Sri A.M. Abdul Salam, is the person who has been working hard to make it a grand success. I take this opportunity to thank him and invite him to this function. I extend hearty welcome to the heads of the departments, faculty members, and the students of our college. The success of an international webinar like this depends largely on the participants of academic community from the different parts of the world. I extend a hearty welcome to all the participants to this auspicious inaugural function of Multidisciplinary International Webinar Series. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shaji, for your warm greetings and hearty welcome that is generous enough to encompass everyone present here. Now, it's time for the presidential address by our principal, Dr. C.P. Sujesh. He is the spirit and energy behind this academic initiative. This webinar series has come to life due to the perseverance of this young, dynamic, and accomplished scholar. He is our pillar of strength and support for all our endeavors. I wholeheartedly request our principal, Dr. C.P. Sujesh, to deliver the presidential address.
Thank you. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes. Good morning to everyone. Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University of Calicut, Professor Dr. M.K. Jairaj, sir, respected Devasam Secretary of SNDP Yogam, Sri Santosh Ariyakandi, respected Syndicate Member of the University of Calicut, Dr. K.P. Vinod Kumar, respected Research Officer of the Kerala State Higher Education Council, Dr. Shafiq V, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Shaji Maram Vedil, the coordinator of this webinar series, A.M. Abdul Salam, all the academicians, research scholars, and students from different parts of the world who are present here, and my dear students and colleagues. At the very outset, I would like to welcome once again to Guruvachan, a multidisciplinary webinar series, which is being organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of R. Shankar Memorial SNDP Yogam College, Koilandi, in association with Kerala State Higher Education Council. As all of us know, knowledge gained through education forms the foundation of any civilized society. Benjamin Franklin has clearly mentioned that an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And education in this transformation era has undergone drastic changes due to technological advancements, internationalization, and growth and development of new branches of knowledge. And ensuring quality higher education is one of the most important things that we can do for future generations. And educational institutions must focus on the importance of quality assurance in higher education sector. Our country is not an exception to the radical changes in the global education process, including especially in the curriculum and pedagogy. And we have witnessed and experienced many reforms formulated by various higher educational agencies like University Grant Commission, of which the latest one is what we call the blended learning. In this new normal, all of us have shifted our teaching learning process in a new platform of online. And we all know that definitely this is not a napped means of education. Despite we are forced to go with this platform, which has led a digital divide which majority of the student community is facing. Of course, it is up to each and every one of us working in the field of higher education to face these social problems and find solutions to them. More than that, virtues of tolerance and cooperation can be nurtured through value-based education. As Nelson Mandela commented, education is a powerful weapon to change the world for you. So we must use that weapon properly for a secure future. Higher education is tainted when it is viewed as obtaining a mere bachelor's or master's degree rather than a quality education. Therefore, it is the duty of every higher educational institutions to undertake radical reforms and changes on a daily basis to enhance the quality. Universities and higher educational institutions should be able to fully embrace the three areas of teaching and learning, research, and extension defined by University Grant Commission. Higher education can only thrive if the education system is designed at a quality level that emphasizes teaching and learning, research, and extension. Therefore, we must be able to assimilate innovative knowledge at the international level and regulate education accordingly. At the same time, these changes must take into account our socio-cultural environment. Only then can the goal of education at the local, national, and international levels be achieved. In this context, higher educational institutions have to go with newer and innovative thoughts in academic and non-academic phases so as to cope up with the inevitable changes which are being happening in the national as well as international environment. So as a part of this, R. Shankar Memorial SNDP Yogam College is moving with a wonderful academic program named Guruvachan, an international webinar series of multidisciplinary nature. This webinar is intended to impart most recent knowledge of various disciplines with the resource of eminent personalities and educationalists from prominent institutes and universities in and outside the country. With the completion of its short span of 26 years, our college has been able to excel academically and non-academically. University academic excellence, including ranks in university examinations and the feats or the success of the University Arts Festival are at the forefront of this. As a continuation of all this, last year, the college was able to achieve NAACS B double plus recognition. At this juncture, we recognize that there is still much to be done as an institution working in the field of higher education. A number of projects and programs based on educational objectives and social programs are being prepared under the leadership of the IQAC of the college. And we have launched this webinar series as a beginning of the activities for the year 2021-22. And I would like to take this opportunity to inform you that all the activities will be planned and implemented in collaboration with all the agencies like UGC, Kerala State Higher Education Council, and will continue to take up activities like SAC. It can be said without any doubt that cooperation and assistance of all is very much needed for this. And when it becomes available, this institution will be able to reach great heights. The academic collaboration of this program is steered by the Kerala State Higher Education Council. And the cooperation of the management, the PTA, teachers, students is also available to a large extent. I also take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to all of them. The webinar series will be organized by the esteemed Vice Chancellor of the University of Calicut, Professor M.K. Jairaj sir. Professor Jairaj sir is a highly respected person who conceives and implements all the ideas for the way the university should function. We know that these kinds of seminars are definitely indispensable in the field of higher education and will help in one way or another the creation and dissemination of knowledge. I request all of you to participate well in all respects to make this Guruvachan a brilliant success and a distinct reality. And now I respectfully welcome our Honorable Chief Guest and Vice Chancellor of the University of Calicut, Professor M.K. Jairaj sir, to inaugurate this webinar series. Thank you all.
Benjamin Franklin's words, uttered by the principal on the importance of education, is testimony of his love for knowledge sharing. He has also stated that the need for sustainable development through education. Thank you, Dr. C.P. Sujesh, for your gracious words. You are the leading light behind all our academic and non-academic activities. Now, it's time for the most awaited moment, the inauguration of the program by Honorable Vice Chancellor.
Vidya Miss?
Yes, now we move on to the next event. It's the time for the most awaited moment, the inauguration of the program by Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Calicut, Professor Dr. M.K. Jairaj. We are honored to have this dynamic personality to inaugurate our program. He is an eminent academician, a brilliant scholar, and was formerly the Professor of Physics at Cochin University of Science and Technology. Sir, we're extremely pleased to have you with us today, and we thank you for accepting our invitation. Sir, please deliver your inaugural address.
Very good morning. Dr. Suresh, Principal. Dr. Shaji Aramveetal, IQAC Coordinator. Sri Santosh Arekandi, Joint Secretary, SNDP Yogam. Dr. KP Vinod Kumar, Syndicate Member, Calicut University. Dr. Shafiq, Higher Education Council. Sri Abdul Salam, Project Coordinator. Senior faculty members, my dear students and dear participants. I am very happy to join this 26-day long multidisciplinary international webinar series organized by R. Shankar Memorial SNDP Yogam Arts and Science College, Koirandi, and Higher Education, Kerala Higher Education Council. This R. Shankar Memorial SNDP Yogam Arts and Science College was established in 1995 and it has celebrated its Silver Jubilee. For an institution, 26 years is not a long period. For an institution, it's a very short period. And over these 26 years, the Shankar Memorial SNDP Yogam Arts and Science College has marked its presence. I understand that some of the department has a very promising, and its academic record shows that all the department is performing very well. And the present webinar series, Guruvachan, a multidisciplinary international seminar, which is very appropriate for the time being. We are all talk about interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary programs, where the students are exposed to, apart from his discipline, is exposed to the knowledge in other areas. And I am sure that this multidisciplinary program, international webinar, will give an exposure to all the students what is happening in all over the world. If I quote from Sri Narayana Guru, gain freedom through education, gain prosperity through industry. As all of you know, Sri Narayana Guru advocated for social equality and universal brotherhood. Guru worked hard as a social educationist and condemned the discrimination in the name of caste, creed, and religion. Education was one of his primary concerns, by which he believed that one could uplift his or her quality of life. As the Shankar Memorial SNDP Yogam Arts and Science College rightly point out its vision to provide value-based education to all students with a focus on the underprivileged section. This is in tune with what Sri Narayana Guru has advocated. In the current scenario of education and the National Education Policy also says that by 2035, the gross enrollment ratio has to be enhanced to 50%. The gross enrollment ratio in Kerala is 37%, although well ahead of national average of 26.3%. It has to be increased to 50% by 2035. This calls for immediate enhancement of capacity in universities and colleges. For enrollment of students in university campus has to be tripled in the next 5 years. Is it possible to provide all those students who get enrolled? It may not be possible for all of us to get a government job. We are talking about a gross enrollment ratio of 50% by 2035. We have to train the students. Instead of job seekers, they have to be trained as job providers. All higher education institutions are knowledge creation centers. The discoveries and innovations in basic science as well as in humanities have to be put into practice more effectively and efficiently through incubation centers or through startup centers. It is high time that higher education institutions introduce entrepreneurial education into curricula. With the integration of entrepreneurial education into higher education, universities and colleges of Kerala can become leaders of technological development and economic growth. In the current scenario, universities and colleges in Kerala has less number of students, which has to be tripled if you want to enhance the gross enrollment ratio to 50% by 2035. Another area, if you look, the number of researchers per lakh of population in developed countries like Denmark is 806 researchers per lakh. For example, if you look Canada, which has a population of 3.71 crore, a little more than the population of our state Kerala, has 97 universities and has about 433 researchers per lakh of population. Another country, Malaysia, with a 3.19 crore population, which is less than our state, has 240 researchers per lakh of the population. And Malaysia has 67 universities. And if you look these numbers in India, the number of researchers per lakh of population in Kerala or in India is only 25. So if you want to become a developed nation, the number of researchers is an indicator. We have to at least make it 10 times more. The number of researchers now, which is 25 per lakh, which has to be multiplied by a factor of 10 when we reach the year 2040. So this indicates that the present students, there is a good opportunities as well as challenges ahead of you. You can take up research career. And this also calls upon enhancing the infrastructure in the cutting edge research. The investment in higher education can advance Kerala into prosperous developed state. I am sure that the webinar like this will introduce the students to the newer areas and the research happening all over the world. And this will be an eye-opener for them. What are the challenges ahead of them? What are the opportunities awaiting for them? I am sure that this kind of webinars, which is a booster to all of the students as well as to the faculty. I congratulate the R. Shankar Memorial SNDP Yogam, Arts and Science College, and the Kerala Higher Education Council for organizing this kind of webinar. And with all your permission, I declare this webinar inaugurated. Thank you all.
The online webinar is highly appropriate in this pandemic situation. Sri Narayana Guru's words about the indispensable need of education for social development by the Honorable Vice Chancellor is proof of the fundamental right of education of a person, which will in the long run pave changes in the social setup. We understand that research opportunities should be provided and more researchers need to be attracted by higher education. Thank you, sir, for those highly inspirational words of encouragement. Your optimistic and supportive words have instilled in us the strength to move ahead with all academic projects. Thank you. Dear participants, through this webinar series, we are all set to give you a cognitive treat with 12 technical sessions that pay attention to the presentation and discussion of multidisciplinary academic fields in accordance with the contemporary domains of learning. Now, in a nutshell, let me introduce our technical sessions. On 5th October, we have a session by Mr. Niaz Ahmed Mahmood from Muscat, Sultanate of Oman. The topic is personal excellence and self-management. On 6th October, the resource person is Dr. Mahmoud Kuria, Leiden, University of Netherlands. Topic, women in the sea-gendered travel in the pre-modern Indian Ocean. On 8th October, the resource person is Mr. Anthony John, United States of America. Topic, cloud computing. On 13th October, the resource person is Dr. O.K. Santosh from Chennai. Topic, contemporary Malayalam novels, narrative and politics. On 16th October, we have a talk by Dr. Ramand Kasturi, Salala, Sultanate of Oman. Topic, recent trends in personal finance, savings and investments. On 18th October, the talk is by Dr. S. Chitra, Royal University of Bhutan. Topic, Mountain Echoes, Hallmarks of Bhutanese Writings. On 20th October, the resource person is Dr. Tindila Kotakat, University of Beirut, Germany. Topic, green conversion of carbon dioxide to value-added chemicals and fuels. On 22nd October, the resource person is Dr. Ramakant Roy from Uttar Pradesh. Topic, contemporary poetry and ecology. On 25th October, the session is by Dr. KVS Nambudiri, Trivandrum. Topic, world of meteorological phenomena, science and observations. On 26th October, we have a presentation by Dr. V. Selvan from Chennai. Topic, some famous problems in number theory. Our resource person on 28th October is Dr. Nibu R. Krishna from Gwalior. Topic, stress management through yogic practices. Our last technical session is on 30th October. The speaker is Dr. Uma Shankar Pandey from Kolkata. Topic, media in India, recent trends and opportunities. Now, let us move on to the felicitations. Among the dignitaries who are gathered here, we have 3 distinguished personalities who have accepted our invitation to felicitate the event. Let me welcome Sri Santosh Aryakandi, Devasam Secretary of SNDP Yogam. He is the representative of our management. Sir, we are extremely pleased to have you with us, as you are the strength and support behind all the activities that we plan and execute. We greatly recollect your guidance and support during the NAC visit that took place this year. You have always been there to guide and enable us to perform better. Sir, I request you to felicitate the program.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
വെബിനാറിന്റെ അധ്യക്ഷപദം അലങ്കരിക്കുന്ന പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ പ്രൊഫസർ സുജേഷ് അവർ, ഈ വെബിനാർ ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്ത കോഴിക്കോട് യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയുടെ വൈസ് ചാൻസലർ പ്രൊഫസർ ഡോക്ടർ ജയരാജ് അവർ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട സിൻഡിക്കേറ്റ് മെമ്പർ ശ്രീ KP വിനോദ് കുമാർ, ഡോക്ടർ ഷഫീഖ് വി, മറ്റ് മുഴുവൻ ഫാക്കൽറ്റി മെമ്പേഴ്സ്, എന്നെ ശ്രമിക്കുന്ന ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്ന പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട സഹോദരി സഹോദരങ്ങൾ, ഏറെ വിശേഷപ്പെട്ട യാതൊരു സംശയവുമില്ല, വിവിധ മേഖലകൾ ഒരു വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ സംവിധാനത്തിൽ ഉണ്ടാവേണ്ടുന്ന വിവിധ മേഖലകളെ സംബന്ധിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വെബിനാറുകളായി ഇത് വരും ദിവസങ്ങളിൽ മാറുകയാണ്. നമുക്കറിയാം, നേരത്തെ വൈസ് ചാൻസലർ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ അറിവില്ലാത്തവന് അറിവ് നൽകുക, അതിലൂടെ മാത്രമേ, ആ അറിവിലൂടെ മാത്രമേ അവനെ സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ മുൻപന്തിയിലേക്ക് എത്തിക്കുവാൻ സാധിക്കുകയുള്ളൂ എന്നുള്ള ശ്രീനാരായണ ഗുരുദേവന്റെ ആ ഒരു തിരിച്ചറിവാണ് വിദ്യ കൊണ്ട് പ്രബുദ്ധരാകുവാൻ നമ്മളോട് ഗുരു കൽപ്പിച്ചത്. ഭൗതികമായ ജീവിതത്തിൽ ആവശ്യമുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് എന്നുള്ളത് ഗുരു വളരെ സ്പെസിഫിക് ആയിട്ട് തന്നെ ഗുരുവിന്റെ സന്ദേശങ്ങളിൽ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ എത്തി നിൽക്കുന്ന ഏറ്റവും നൂതനമായ ശാസ്ത്ര സാങ്കേതിക വിദ്യയെ കുറിച്ച് പോലും പറയുവാനും പഠിക്കുവാനും അറിവുള്ളവനെ കൊണ്ട് അതിന് ക്ലാസ്സുകൾ എടുപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് വിവരം സമ്പാദിക്കുവാനും ഗുരു അന്ന് കൽപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ ആ തരത്തിലുള്ള എല്ലാ മേഖലകളിലൂടെയും കടന്നു പോവുകയാണ്. നേരത്തെ വൈസ് ചാൻസലർ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചു, ഇവിടെയുള്ള യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റികളുടെ സ്ഥിതി സൂചിപ്പിച്ചു. ഇന്ന് റിസർച്ച് ആണ് ഏറ്റവും വലിയ കാര്യമായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കാണേണ്ടുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യം. ആ റിസർച്ചിന് ആവശ്യമായ സൗകര്യങ്ങൾ ഏറ്റവും പരമാവധിയിൽ ചെയ്തു തരുവാനുള്ള ഉത്തരവാദിത്തം യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റികളുടെ തന്നെയാണ്. ആ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റികളിൽ ആ തരത്തിലുള്ള രീതിയിലുള്ള ഗൈഡ്സും കാര്യങ്ങളും ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോഴാണ് ഇതിലൊക്കെ ഏറ്റവും കൂടിയ സംവിധാനത്തിലേക്ക് നമുക്ക് പോകാൻ സാധിക്കും. പലപ്പോഴും നമ്മുടെ കേരളത്തിൽ ഏറ്റവും കൂടിയ പ്രായമുള്ള ആളുകളെ നമ്മൾ ഗൈഡായിട്ടൊക്കെ കാണുമ്പോഴും അവർ ഡോക്ടറേറ്റ് എടുത്ത് ഗൈഡായിട്ടൊക്കെ വരുവാൻ ഒരുപാട് താമസമുള്ള സാഹചര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോഴും തൊട്ടടുത്ത സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങളിലുള്ള നല്ല നിലയിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റികളിൽ ചെന്ന് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ അവിടെ റിസർച്ചിന് ഗൈഡായിട്ടുള്ള ആളുകളെ കാണും. ഏറ്റവും യങ്സ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആളുകൾ അവർ എടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് പോവുകയാണ്. അപ്പൊ തീർച്ചയായും ആ ക്വാളിറ്റിയിലുള്ള വ്യത്യാസം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ സമ്പ്രദായത്തിലുള്ള വ്യത്യാസം എത്രത്തോളം ഉണ്ട് എന്ന് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കുവാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നത് അങ്ങനെയാണ്. നമ്മളൊരു താരതമ്യ പഠനം നടത്തുമ്പോൾ നമുക്കത് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ സാധിക്കും. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഇന്ന് എല്ലാ മേഖലകളിലും ഒരുപോലെ അറിവ് സമ്പാദിക്കേണ്ട ഒരു സമയത്താണ് നമ്മൾ പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. അറിവ് ഇന്ന് ലോകത്തില് ഏറ്റവും കൂടിയ വേഗതയിൽ പ്രചരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു പ്രക്രിയയായിട്ട് മാറിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ഇന്നിപ്പോ നമ്മൾ സംസാരിക്കുന്ന ഈ വിഷയം ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ നമ്മളെ ചുറ്റുമുള്ള മേഖലകളിൽ അതിന്റെ പഠനങ്ങളും മറ്റു കാര്യങ്ങളും ഒക്കെ ഏറ്റവും കൂടിയ സംവിധാനത്തിലേക്കായി മാറി അടുത്ത നിമിഷം തന്നെ മാറുന്ന ഒരു സാഹചര്യം. നമ്മൾ അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ആവുന്നില്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ പുറന്തള്ളപ്പെട്ടു പോകുന്ന ഒരു അവസ്ഥയെ കുറിച്ച് കൂടി ഒരു ഭീകരമായ അവസ്ഥ.
ഒരുപക്ഷെ നമ്മളിപ്പോ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ഫോണുകളായാൽ പോലും അതിൽ നമ്മളൊരു ഉപയോഗിച്ച് തുടങ്ങിയ കാലത്തുള്ള സംവിധാനമെല്ലാം ഇന്ന് എത്തി നിൽക്കുന്നതെന്ന് നമുക്കൊക്കെ അറിയാം. ഏത് മേഖലയായാലും നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന് പ്രയോജനപ്പെടുത്തേണ്ട ഏത് മേഖലയായാലും അതിനുള്ള രീതിയിലാണ് ഇന്ന് പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. അവിടേക്ക് ഈ തരത്തിലുള്ള സെമിനാറുകൾ, വിവിധ മേഖലകളെ കുറിച്ചുള്ള ഈ സെമിനാറുകൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കിയെടുക്കുകയും അതിന് ഒരുപാട് പെയിൻ എടുത്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഈ നമ്മുടെ കോളേജിലുള്ള അധ്യാപകരും അതോടനുബന്ധിച്ചിട്ട് ഇതിനു വേണ്ടി ഇറങ്ങി തിരിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന മുഴുവൻ ആളുകളും അത്രയും വലിയൊരു പെയിനാണ് എടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അത് മാനേജ്മെന്റിന്റെ ഭാഗം എന്ന രീതിയിൽ എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കുവാൻ ദിവസങ്ങളായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് സാധിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. നമ്മുടെ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഉദ്ദേശമാഷ്, ഒപ്പം തന്നെ ഷാജി മാരാങ്കണ്ടി, ഇവരൊക്കെ ഈ കാര്യങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് IQAC കോർഡിനേറ്റർ ഉൾപ്പെടെ ഒരു ശ്രമങ്ങൾ അവരുടെ ഭാഗത്തു നിന്ന് നടത്തിക്കൊണ്ടാണ് ഇത്രയും ഒരു പരിപാടി ഇതിനെ ഓർഗനൈസ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി സാധിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. അവരെ ഇതിന്റെ മാനേജ്മെന്റായ യോഗത്തിന് വേണ്ടി മാനേജറായ ശ്രീ വെള്ളാപ്പള്ളി നടേശൻ അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടി എന്റെ സ്വന്തം പേരിലും ഞാൻ മുഴുവൻ അഭിനന്ദനങ്ങളും അർപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട്, അഭിനന്ദനത്തിന്റെ പൂച്ചെണ്ടുകൾ അർപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ എന്റെ എല്ലാ ആശംസകളും അതോടൊപ്പം നേർന്നുകൊണ്ട് നിർത്തട്ടെ. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you, Santosh.
Sri Santosh Aryakande spoke on the importance of research and the huge number of research guides in the neighboring states. He dwelled on the importance of facilitating more opportunities for research in our universities. We are glad to have listened to those words of encouragement. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Next, we have with us Dr. K.P. Vinod Kumar, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Commerce at MES College, Mambad. He is also syndicate member of the University of Calicut. Above all these, he is a down-to-earth person who is approachable and accessible to all. He is popularly known as an efficient academician and a capable administrator who devotes time and energy to do commendable work at the academic and administrative level of the University of Calicut. He is a well-liked personality who is closely associated with all the activities of our college. Sir, I request you now to felicitate our program.
Sir, I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, audible, sir.
Okay. Respected Principal, Dr. C.P. Sujesh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. M.K. Jairaj sir, Sri Santosh Aryakande, SNDP Yogam Secretary, Dr. Shafiq V, the Research Officer, Dr. Shaji, Dr. Abdul Salam, other faculty members of the colleges, faculties participating in the webinar series from neighboring colleges, research scholars, and my dear beloved student delegates, to be here in connection with a month-long international webinar series, a truly multidisciplinary nature, titled Guruvachan, organized by the RSFND Yogam Arts and Science College, especially the IQAC section, as well as Kerala State Higher Education Council. The dawn of 21st century has witnessed a paradigm shift in all walks of life, with a visible impact on education, and more so on higher education. The present century, as everybody knows, characterized by the knowledge revolution, the third wave revolution as put by Alvin Toffler after agriculture and industry. Knowledge has actually turned the society into what we call it as knowledge society. After passing through the BT wave, one may call it as fourth wave, perhaps we have entered into the artificial intelligence era. The conflux of technologies shaping our artificial intelligence, robotics, blockchain, big data analysis, genetic engineering, gene mapping, quantum computing, etc., etc. So all these features will have a sizable impact on the human life. The COVID pandemic has re-engineered many things in higher education, including our teaching practices, learning, extension, research, development of e-content, online delivery, the community linkage of research, etc., etc. Besides, it cut across the time barrier. We cannot think of this kind of webinar being organized 2 years back. If you look at the higher education architecture now, we can identify it's built upon many parameters, which is rightly talked by the earlier speakers. The curriculum is the pedagogy, the faculty profile, the research, both one may call it as the partnership with the institutions, academic institutions, the infrastructure facilities, both online and digital, as well as the offline infrastructure, the funding aspect.
Vinod sir.
Besides,
okay. Continue, sir. Continue.
Besides, one may call it as the ranking of the institution. That may be national ranking, NAC rating, even SAC rating, even the latest one, the QS world ranking. So the ranking has become an indispensable for our education to go into the upward mobility. I am happy that the Indian universities has improved the research impact as 17 of the 35 universities has been shown a rising trend in CPF. CPF, the citation for faculty. IISc Bangalore beat even the global top universities such as Princeton, Harvard, and even the MIT in these parameters. And many of the new ideologies, many of the new parameters being reckoned to under the rating aspects, like academic reputation of the institution, employer reputation, the faculty-student ratio, the role of international faculty in the overall faculty scenario, etc. And if I elaborate, also like to talk on one or two aspects on the Kerala State Higher Education Council initiative. Taking clue from all these changes in the global and national level, Kerala government Ministry of Higher Education and the Kerala State Higher Education Council has put up an active effort to revamp in total the entire higher education architecture in the state. Recently, in the last 2 days, they have organized a very good seminar touching upon these aspects, like curriculum reforms, institutional development, research and innovation, library as a learning resources. How can you share up with other institutions? Like KSH set up a college to share the resources of the university, the resources of various colleges. I'm sure a greater role this college can put into. Already it was established in 96, only 25 years. Rightly, it's a good appreciation. Our Vice Chancellor has noted that it has its presence in the academic space of our university. Then we have academic collaborations, redefining the legal framework, the use of digital technology, ERP, LMS, ICT platform, even the evaluation system and the financial domain. I am sure Shafiq will talk more on these aspects. I am not taking much time. I take this opportunity to congratulate the whole team for providing such a wonderful academic support to our students and teachers and research college for deliberation and clarification of the doubt. And thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Vinod sir.
Dr. K.P. Vinod Kumar spoke about the knowledge revolution of the 21st century and new branches of knowledge which will greatly influence human society, and also the imminent need of institution ranking. Thank you so much, Dr. K.P. Vinod Kumar, for your amiable words. We look forward to associate with you in our future endeavors as well. Now, I welcome Dr. B. Shafiq, who is the Research Officer at the Kerala State Higher Education Council. Before we listen to your words of felicitation, let me thank you, sir, for all the assistance and the effort you have taken to enable us to conduct our program under the auspices of the Kerala State Higher Education Council. Dr. B. Shafiq is a promising figure in the academic circle and has been a part of the various quality enhancement schemes of the Kerala State Higher Education Council. Sir, we invite you to render your felicitation.
Thank you. Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, audible.
Okay. So, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Raj sir, other dignitaries like Sri Santosh Arekandi, Devasam Secretary of SNDP Yogam, Dr. Vinod Kumar sir, the Honorable Syndicate Member of University of Calicut, Honorable Principal, IQAC Coordinator, Program Coordinator, dear teachers and students. So it's indeed a privilege to be the part of this inaugural ceremony of this Guruvachan, a multidisciplinary international webinar series, which is being organized by the R. Shankar Memorial SNDP Yogam Arts and Science College, Koilandi, in association with Kerala State Higher Education Council. Though this program is being planned as a multidisciplinary international webinar series, I congratulate the organizers for taking up this title of multidisciplinarity because I believe that through this program, through this webinar series, the learners, including the faculty, would be able to understand the importance and also the of interdisciplinary bar multidisciplinarity in the present academic world. We live in the world of this multidisciplinarity and interdisciplinarity. These are the two often catchwords which we often listen in the these days. When the government of Kerala offered new courses, the focus was on interdisciplinarity and multidisciplinarity. And even other policy documents, including from the center to the state, also speaks of a lot of efforts to promote interdisciplinarity and multidisciplinarity among the academic circles. But I think we often get confused with these two terms like multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. Actually, though these two terms come under a larger title, but both these terms refer to two different ideas which we need to have a good clarity on it. Multidisciplinary often mentions the multidisciplinarity means the people from different disciplines working together, each drawing on their own disciplinary knowledge. I teach political science. I'll speak from my perspective. Vinod sir is from commerce. He will speak from a commerce perspective. And through this, at the end of the day, we will be able to come up with some sort of new kind of idea, which is a more a kind of interdisciplinarity. Interdisciplinarity means integrating knowledge and methods from different disciplines using a real synthesis of approaches. So in that sense, initially I wanted you to be very clear about the difference between interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary and multidisciplinarity. We know that we have been trained in a system where we were largely focusing on the disciplines. Disciplines, we know that were formed according to the tradition of knowledge and geographical locations. So each disciplines, by discipline, I mean like, English, political science, commerce, physics, chemistry, whatever it is. Each discipline have its own specific mode of instruction, learning and teaching. And they also are associating with its own ideology, epistemology and theory. So each disciplines, we know that have contributed immensely to the production of knowledge. But there is, and we of the late, we found that this disciplinary knowledge have certain limitation as it couldn't address all the issues of the human beings, especially in social and natural sciences. And there comes this interdisciplinarity or multidisciplinarity. So it's not just a fusion of one or more disciplines, it's altogether a new product where some sort of analysis and synthesis and also harmonize of disciplines into a new product, like cultural studies is such a thing. And even if you look at the topics of the lectures that which will be coming up in this month as part of your this multidisciplinary international webinar series, you can see that the speakers, though they might be belong to some sort of discipline like history, literature, or something else, they will try to speak from a different angle where they try to come out of their disciplinary boundaries and try to see the things from a very different perspective, and that would definitely give a new idea, a new thought for the learners. So in that sense, this workshop, this international webinar series will have profound influence on the learners who are very keen to develop their academia in research and other areas. And when we speak of this multidisciplinarity or interdisciplinarity, I also wanted you to think of cross-disciplinary literacy, because as I told you before, we are now coming up with interdisciplinary or cross-disciplinary courses as part of the new courses and new programs in our higher education institutions. For example, if we speak of a course like artificial intelligence, then the composition of the teachers, faculty would be different from that of what we have now. Like, there might be a teacher of computer science, there might be a teacher of mathematics, there might be a teacher of physics. So in that sense, the very nature of our departments, the very nature of our academic year will be going to have a tremendous shift in the coming few years. And there, cross-disciplinary literacy is very crucial. Being a political science teacher, I should have a commendable knowledge on the technical language of the associate subjects to my area, like economics, history, sociology, and so. Like that, a teacher of physics should have a commendable knowledge on the technical language of chemistry, mathematics, computer science, or whatever are related to that particular disciplines. So in that sense, the institutions have to do something very solid to develop the cross-disciplinary literacy of the learners and also the researchers, so that that they will be able to do well in the research areas. So with these few words, let me thank the organizers for giving us an opportunity to collaborate with this esteemed institution, and also inviting me for this inaugural ceremony. Thank you all, and I wish all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. V. Shafiq has said that the title of our webinar is very apt for the present scenario. He has elaborated on the distinction between multidisciplinarity and interdisciplinarity, at the same time focusing on the relevance of each and every discipline. He has also told or shared an information on cross-disciplinary literacy for us to ponder over in our future activities. Thank you, Dr. V. Shafiq. We look forward to work jointly with you again. Thank you. Now, it's the time for expressing gratitude. To deliver the word of thanks, we have with us Sri A.M. Abdul Salam, the coordinator of this program. Sri A.M. Abdul Salam is the energy behind the realization of the event. Since the day of its thought in our minds, Sir has not left any stone unturned to make it a success. What we witness now is the result of his effort and determination. I welcome you, sir, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Audible, sir.
Good morning to all. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. M.K. Jairaj, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Calicut, respected Principal Dr. C.P. Sujesh, respected guest Sri Santosh Ariakandi, Devasam Secretary SNDP Yogam, Dr. K.P. Vinod Kumar, Associate Professor and Member of Syndicate, Calicut University, Dr. V. Shafiq, Research Officer, Kerala State Higher Education Council, Dr. Shaji Maramvittil, Coordinator of IKSC, my colleagues, teachers from other colleges, parents, and my dear students and other delegates. You have all witnessed the gracious inauguration of Guruvachan, the multidisciplinary international webinar series on this platform. I am extremely glad that our dream has finally taken flight. For this realization, I am thankful to each and everyone who has extended a helping hand to make this academic initiative a success. First and foremost, let me express my sincere gratitude to Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Calicut, Professor Dr. M.K. Jayaraj, for inaugurating our program. Next, I wholeheartedly thank our principal, Dr. C.P. Sujesh, for giving wings to our dream and also for presiding over the function. It is my privilege to propose thanks to Santosh Ariyakandi, Dr. K.P. Vinod Kumar, and Dr. V. Shafiq for their presence, involvement, support, and felicitations for this program. I thank our IKC coordinator, Dr. Shaji Maramvittil, for taking all the necessary steps that are extremely helpful in making this program a reality. I am also grateful to all the colleagues, teachers from other colleges, parents, and all other participants who have spared their time to join hands with us to make this program a success. I thank everyone who has provided technical and moral support to realize this event. I express a special thanks to Mr. Niyaz Ahmad Mahmood, who is the first resource person of this webinar series, now participating in this session. And I also extend a special gratitude to Ms. Vidya Vishwanath, Assistant Professor, Department of English, for the very lively, energetic anchoring of the program. Thank you. Thank you for all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sri A.M. Abdul Salam, for your very touching words of gratitude. We are thankful to you too for all the effort you have taken to coordinate and execute our dream project. Dear ladies, gentlemen, colleagues, students, and all the other participants, we share with you this joyous moment. Our inaugural session has turned out to be a delightful one amidst eminent scholars, academicians, and seekers of knowledge. In the coming days, let's sit back and enjoy an intellectual feast. We await to entertain you all by opening up new vistas of knowledge with the help of distinguished resource persons from across the globe. Technical sessions begin tomorrow on 5th October 2021 at 7 p.m. on this platform. The resource person for tomorrow is Mr. Niyaz Ahmed Mahmood from Muscat Sultanate of Oman. And the topic of presentation is Personal Excellence and Self-Management. We look forward to meeting you all in our technical sessions. Thank you everyone for your valuable time and patience. The session has concluded. Thank you.